Continue to get you the ground coverage and the live coverage as well. Let's say good morning to our reporters as well joining us this morning. Priyanka is joining us from Gandhinagar. We have Anirudh who's joining us from Guwahati and Karthik joining us from Shivamogga there. But first up coming to you, Priyanka, because it's going to be a pretty hectic day for you as well. Talking about Gandhinagar, it's the most prestigious and crucial seat for the BJP, sustaining the seat for quite some time now. And we are looking at a Lok Sabha debut of Amit Shah, who is in the fray and filling in big shoes of veteran leader LK Advani.
Oh, absolutely. A very good morning to you and all our viewers as well. We're reporting from the polling station where Amit Shah will be coming. Let's get you a view. Let's get you a mood of exactly what the preparations are going on like. All the officers are in place to make sure that the polling goes smoothly. All the EC officials are in place and we'll get in a word from them as well. As we were talking about how it's going to be 26 out of 26 seats that are going to polling in the third phase. Let's get in a word from them exactly what the security measures and what all has been done for the preparation of this entire booth as well. सर यहाँ पे क्या-क्या अभी सिक्योरिटी की व्यवस्था की गई है बिकॉज अमित शाह यहाँ पे आने वाले हैं वोट करने के लिए
वो उसके बारे में आपको हमारे प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर
राइट यहाँ पे क्या-क्या सिक्योरिटी अभी मेजर्स लिए गए हैं क्या-क्या व्यवस्थाएं की गई है
अभी सारी व्यवस्थाएं की गई है अभी मॉक पोल शुरू करना है तो इसका टाइम हो गया है अभी हम बिजी है इसलिए
So, as you can see that this kind of preparation is, of course, going on in this voting booth. And I'd like to go outside here as well. And we'll also try to talk about Gandhinagar constituency, as you said, is a very prestigious constituency. It's a constituency that the BJP has not lost from since 1989. And since 1998 is when LK Advani has been winning from this constituency. It's a passing of the baton from LK Advani to Amit Shah for the first time, as you said very rightly. The Lok Sabha debut of the BJP president Amit Shah is from this prestigious constituency of Gandhinagar. And, it's also a very important day to note because both the major parties, BJP President Amit Shah and Congress President Rahul Gandhi, both the constituencies that these leaders are contesting from, one is Gandhinagar, the other is Wayanad, both these constituencies are going to poll today. But of course, as we talk about Gujarat, all the 26 seats of the state are going into poll and the preparation of that is, taking place as we speak from this particular polling booth. We're also being told that Amit Shah will be doing a door-to-door meeting with all the voters, with all the booth officials, with all the booth workers of his party in the entire constituency of Gandhinagar. So he will also be seen with the Prime Minister when he comes to Ranip, that also falls under the Gandhinagar constituency at 7 a.m. So we will see the Amit Shah-Narendra Modi duo at Ranip in Gandhinagar when the Prime Minister goes in to vote. And since him being a voter of the constituency
and if you're
of Amit
talking
Shah,
about
will
Gujarat
also be meeting
in
with
particular,
him.
the entire 26 Lok Sabha seats had gone in the favor of BJP in 2014. Now, will BJP be able to repeat history? Well, that will be seen on the 23rd of May because exactly a month from now, we're also expecting that the results will be out. Let me also say good morning to my colleague Zeenat, who is joining us from Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir. That one seat today where you have three different phases of polling that will be held. Zeenat, over to you.
Yes, Amita, we are standing here in Anantnag, which is going to poll today. And this Lok Sabha seat will go to polls in three phases today, then 29th and again on 6th of May. But yes, the direct contest here in South Kashmir is PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti. She is contesting against State Congress President Ghulam Ahmad Mir. So direct neck-to-neck competition and the contest between Mehbooba and Ahmad Mir. But simultaneously, it will be seen a very tough day for the security forces here in South Kashmir because keeping in mind the security scenario, the situation on ground, we have been seeing for the last couple of days as the polls are coming nearer, the grenade attacks, the stones that are being hurled on the police, these polling booths. So it will be very difficult for the security forces and needs to be seen that how the security forces will maintain situation on ground. And we are standing here in one of the polling booths in Anantnag, which is going to poll in some time from now, as the polling timing is 7. But simultaneously, Election Commission of India, keeping in mind the situation in South Kashmir, has reduced poll timing, and it is now from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 2 hours have been reduced because of the security situation, because the detailed report had been submitted from the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the administration that it is difficult for them to go for that kind of polls and for such a long time. So they have reduced the timing from 6 to 4 a.m. But at the same time, will the voters come out? Will they choose?
So we can
democracy,
understand how
or
crucial
as
and little
usual, they will
complicated is
boycott?
it,
That needs
especially
to
the
be
seat
seen.
of Anantnag, because for that one particular seat, you have elections that will be taking place in 3 different phases. And also the Election Commission has reduced the voting time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. as Zeenat was pointing out. So hopefully the entire period will pass on peacefully and the voters will come out in large numbers to exercise their franchise. Let me move towards Assam now. I believe Anirudh is joining us from Guwahati. A close contest there also of 2 women leaders from the BJP and the Congress party. And we're also expecting former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh there. Anirudh.
Yes, Amita, today we are now standing outside 227 number polling vote of the Dispur Government Higher Secondary School, and this is where former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh have been casting his vote for the last 3 decades, and today also he is coming to cast his vote, and we are picking up that he will be here at around 2 p.m. to cast his vote. Talking about the election dynamics here in Guwahati, it's a direct contest between the Congress and the BJP here. 2 women leaders, both very popular among the voters as well as the people of the Guwahati, and they will be in a neck-to-neck fight in the seat for the seat of Guwahati. Security has been beefed up in other parts of Assam as well, where polling is to be held today, and this is the last phase of the 3 phases of the elections in Assam, and today 4 constituencies, Dhubri, Guwahati, Barpeta and Kokrajhar are going to the poll. And as far as Dhubri and Barpeta constituencies are concerned, these are very crucial constituencies, keeping in view that the NRC updation process is also underway in Assam, and when the pilot project of NRC was undertaken way back in the year 2012-13, and at that point in time violent protests were witnessed in the constituency of Barpeta. So this will be very, very crucial election as far as the constituencies of Barpeta and Dhubri are concerned. And let me also tell you that from Dhubri we have AIDF Supremo Badruddin Ajmal contesting from there, who have been in the news very recently for some outrageous comments on the Prime Minister. Amita.
So keep a close eye as we are expecting that voting will begin from less than an hour from. Let's now head down south to Karnataka, where Karthik, my colleague, is joining us from Shimoga. Very good morning to you, Karthik. We are talking about Shimoga there, where it's going to be a rematch rather of last year's by-poll. We are looking at BJP, B.S. Yediyurappa's son, and versus if you're talking about S. Bangarappa's son as well. So what exactly are the political equations there in Shimoga?
Well, good morning, Amita. It seems to be a cracker of a contest as far as Shimoga is concerned in Karnataka. Now, remember, in the by-polls, it seemed to be a close contest between B.Y. Raghavendra, who's the son of former Chief Minister and BJP State President B.S. Yediyurappa, and who's up against Mr. Bandhu Bangarappa, who is a joint candidate which has been floated by the Congress and JDS coalition. Now, if you look at the last election results, B.Y. Raghavendra had won by a margin of 30,000 votes, over 30,000 votes, which is somehow is lesser when compared to the previous Lok Sabha elections, where he had won by a bigger and better margin. But this time around, it remains to be seen with what margin will B.Y. Raghavendra, perhaps if he wins, with what margin will he win. I'm now standing right outside the residence of the former Chief Minister, Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa. Now, he's expected to come out of his residence along with his son as well, and expected to cast his vote at around 7 a.m. In a nearby polling booth. Now, this is also a very important and high-profile contest, keeping in mind that the former Chief Minister's son will have to win, for the BJP to go on to prove its prominence as far as the Shivamogga region is concerned, which has been a bastion for the party for a long time.
Absolutely. So if you're talking about Karnataka as well, the kind of seats also that goes to polls, but heading back to Gujarat, because Priyanka continues to be with us, and it's going to be a single phase elections in Gujarat. 26 out of 26 seats went in the favor of the BJP. Now this time round too, they are claiming that the history will be repeated with even a bigger vote share this time round. Priyanka, what is the sense that you're picking from the ground?
You know, as far as BJP claiming that they will be getting 26 out of 26 seats, it might just be grandstanding on their part, because on the ground there is some trouble for the BJP. There might be 2 to 3 seats that the BJP might be losing this time, because last time, remember, during the 2014 elections, there was a huge Modi wave that the Gujarat, that the BJP really banged on, and the BJP really reaped the benefits of. But this time around, there is several pockets of the state in Gujarat, constituencies like Amreli, or in North Gujarat, that is Patan, or in Surendranagar. There are pockets in the state where the BJP is actually facing an anti-incumbency, and that's why BJP might struggle, or at least have a tough fight in some of the constituencies. But of course, BJP claiming that they will be getting 26 out of 26 might just be grandstanding on their part as of now. But the key constituency will be that of Gandhinagar, where of course Amit Shah is fighting from. And the point is not if Amit Shah will be able to win, but will Amit Shah be able to win with a better margin than that of LK Advani? Because that has been the entire issue since the very beginning, because workers had also been saying that we will make Amit Shah a winner with a better vote share than LK Advani won, because that's a big statement. LK Advani had been winning with a vote share of 60% since 1998 till 2014. LK Advani had been winning with a better vote share. So now, of course, that is also remains to be seen how, the workers and the locals really accept Amit Shah as a successor of LK Advani of sorts. But of course, as far as 26 out of 26 seats is coming, we'll have to wait and watch till 23rd of May, because it might just be that 2 to 3 seats or 2 to 3 constituencies BJP might have a tough fight on here in Gujarat, Amita.
All right, so we'll keep a close tab on the developments that take place in Gandhinagar. But coming back to you, Zeenat, who's reporting from Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir. Zeenat, there must be many firsts if we are talking about Anantnag in particular as well. But in the fray this time is a senior party leader like Mehbooba Mufti. Now, the kind of tweets that she's been doing in the past few weeks, the kind of comments that she's been given in the past few weeks have been very, very controversial. Now, something that the people there, what would you suggest or think the sense on the ground? Because if we are talking about South Kashmir, that continues to be a very vulnerable area in Kashmir, in the valley.
See, Amita, when we talk about PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti, it's very important for her to win this seat, because the way the condition of party is at present, the MLAs, his party MLAs, the political leaders of his party, the senior political leaders who have worked with Mufti Saeed, his father, they have left the party. So it's really important for Mehbooba to win this seat. But at the same time, she is pitched against State Congress chief Ahmed Mir, who has his own vote bank. When we talk about Shangas, Duru, Kokarnag, and Mutton, Pahalgam. Even the Mehbooba is more focused on Anantnag and Bijbehara, where the vote bank of Mehbooba is the Jamaat. But this time, will the Jamaat-e-Islami, the people from the Jamaat-e-Islami will work? Will that factor work? Will they vote for Mehbooba? Because we have seen in recent past that many leaders and the activists from the JEI have been detained and have been also been arrested. But at the same time, Mehbooba had been making her campaigning in South Kashmir. She had been visiting the places. But at the same time, if you remember the controversial statement that Mehbooba made, that when she was asked that the young boys are getting killed in South Kashmir, and that time in reply she said that had they gone to buy toffee or the milk. So that is very important, because that statement also had come from the South Kashmir. So will people remember such statements, or will they vote again for Mehbooba? That needs to be seen. But at the same time,
So
if we
extremely
talk about
polarizing
State
the
Congress Chief
situation that
Ahmed
has
Mir,
been
who has
made
not
there
only from the
deliberately on
Kashmir
ground,
Valley,
especially
but
if you're
his
talking
position
about
as
Kashmiri politicians and Mehbooba Mufti in particular, the kind of tweets and the statements that she has been giving in the last few weeks. Let me straight now head from Kashmir to Kerala. And I believe Sanjeevi is joining us from Pathanamthitta there. A very good morning to you, Sanjeevi. And if you're talking about the seat there where it has been the epicenter of protest right after the Supreme Court had given the verdict on the right to pray on Sabrimala issue. Now, if you're talking about Pathanamthitta in particular, again, we're looking at a three-pronged fight from the BJP, Congress and the left.
Well, exactly, this Pathanamthitta constituency is going to be very important since Sabrimala is located here at at Pathanamthitta district. And as you mentioned, this Pathanamthitta district saw a widespread protest just after the verdict of Sabrimala, and also two women entering into Sabrimala temple on the month of January, where in fact right-wing activists were also killed during a stone pelting incident which happened here at Pathanamthitta, Adur of Pathanamthitta, and that is why this constituency is very crucial. And also BJP believes that this constituency could definitely give them a win, because BJP's leader Surendran, KK Surendran, is contesting from this location, and he was also very active during the Sabrimala protest. And on the other hand, we have Veena George, a sitting MLA from the LDF, and also Anton Antony from Congress, who is already MP here for 10 years. So that is why it's very important. And the BJP strongly believes that this particular constituency is going to give them fruits, because BJP is trying to make a strong inroads in Kerala, because they have just only one nominated MP, KJ Alphonse now. And this time around, they are very keen that they want to get the seat, with the Sabrimala show. And now we are standing here at Anapara of Pathanamthitta district, where in fact the election commission officials are trying to conduct mock polls and check the machines here right now. So everything is getting prepared at this point of time here with the election commission officials. But as you mentioned, this Pathanamthitta is going to be very crucial in South Kerala, and in fact BJP is also trying to win, is expecting to win at least 4 to 5 constituencies like Thiruvananthapuram, Palakkad, Thrissur, and also Ernakulam, where in fact KJ Alphonse, the union minister, is going to contest. And on the other hand, we have Suresh Gopi, who is a current Rajya Sabha MP and famous actor from Kerala, who is going to contest from Thrissur constituency. And these BJP is trying to find edges from these places and make an inroad in Kerala. So the state has seen many issues in the recent past, including the Sabrimala issue, and we saw a devastating, unprecedented Kerala floods a year back here. So all these issues are going to play a major role. In fact, there are many local issues as well, which are going to be very crucial in these elections, which is against the ruling LDF government. Amita.
All right, for the moment, keep an eye out on the developments that take place today, because Kerala too itself is important, because it is the Varna test for Rahul Gandhi as well. Now, let me straight away go to West Bengal now, because today it's also going to be a high-stake battle there, and Shantashri is joining us this morning. A very good morning to you, Shantashri. If you're talking about the situation there in West Bengal, rather a stiff competition versus BJP and the TMC, something that the TMC also would want to make inroads when it comes to Malda and Murshidabad. Over to you.
Definitely a very good morning, Amita. And the 5 seats are going to polling today, including Malda North, South, Jangipur, Murshidabad, and also, as we know, that another constituency is going to polls right now in West Bengal. As we see people over here, enthused voters are standing in queue from 6 a.m. onwards, and from 7 a.m. onwards, the polling will start in this Malda North constituency. We are currently standing at Kotwali Primary School, which is known to be a place where the main candidates of this Malda North is going to cast their vote. And as we mentioned, that this is a Congress bastion, both Malda North and Malda South, and TMC and BJP is going to eye for this constituency to make inroads in this area. But of course, Bengal as such has been quite virulent for the past so many phases. Even in third phase, just ahead of the third phase, we had seen that how villagers had come towards the polling agents and have asked them to deploy as many as CRPF personnel as possible so that they can vote successfully. And this had been continuing this picture for the past so many days in every constituency possible. So as the day pans out, we will see that whether any such incidents take place or not, because that had been the picture constantly for the first phase and the second phase. In Malda, quite near to Malda, there is a place called Kalia Chowk and also surrounding areas which is known to be the places where there can be violence taking place. But yes, we know that 92% of central forces have been deployed in these 5 constituencies, and there will be extra effort made so that the picture of Bengal can change from what it had been during the Panchayat polls and the last 2
hopefully
phases.
What happened in the second phase, the kind of violence and the clashes that were witnessed will not be repeated this time around, and the stiff competition too that the TMC is facing from the BJP as well, where Mamata Banerjee has vowed that like in 2014 with 34 seats,